Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. We have a ton of Pokemon card collecting and investing news to cover in today's video. The upcoming Pokemon card set Vivid Voltage has been fully revealed and there are some very juicy cards in the set, and people have been speculating on whether this set is going to be investable in the long term. So I will definitely give you my hot take on what Vivid Voltage can do in the future, as well as covering what are some of the most popular and chase cards going to be in this set, as it looks to be definitely a very popular set for years to come. In fact, it might be due to a shortage of print runs, but Vivid Voltage is already becoming hard to find even though the set is not released yet. Booster box prices are already starting to climb, and good luck trying to find a build and battle box. The build and battle box are usually some of the least popular products for a newly released Pokemon card set, just because you don't get the same value in terms of pack openings. But the Vivid Voltage build and battle box have been super popular even before release. Good luck finding one at retail price, because this thing is going for 2 or 3 times MSRP. And the big reason for that is due to the promo cards that you can get inside of the Vivid Voltage build and battle boxes. Normally, the build and battle boxes don't really contain anything special, but in this version, they all contain alternative artworks of some very popular Pokemons, including an alternative artwork for Snorlax, Lugia, as well as Donphan. But the most popular one is definitely going to be the Charizard, which is an alternative art version of Charizard, and it is only available in the build and battle box. Prices for this Charizard are already climbing. By itself, it's going for around $50 to $80, and you have a 25% chance of pulling it inside of a build and battle box. This is one of the big reasons why prices for these boxes have been slowly climbing. It'll be hard to tell where this card really settles, but it is certainly a very popular Pokemon at the moment. Outside of the build and battle boxes, you can find Vivid Voltage in a plethora of other products, and one of the more popular one would definitely be the Vivid Voltage Elite Trainer boxes that have been selling very rapidly and are very much in demand. This Elite Trainer box actually looks very cool, featuring the chunkiest Pikachu you've ever seen. This would be, of course, Pikachu V Max, and it is really adorable. The hyper rare version of it inside of Vivid Voltage will probably be the chase card of the box, but there are a ton of other cool cards in this box, and that's the thing that I like to see, is a set with a lot of different cards that you can enjoy pulling. You don't really want to be chasing after one single card, and there are going to be a ton of cards that I would love to pull inside of this set, including all of the amazing full art trainers, and there are a ton of cool full art trainers inside of Vivid Voltage of many fan favorite trainers, including Leon, as well as B, and of course everyone's favorite Nessa will be inside of this set, and all 3 of their full art version as well as their secret rare versions look amazing and will probably be very expensive cards no matter what. Outside of the full art trainers as well as the Pikachu, you can also pull amazing rares inside of Vivid Voltage. We don't really have a good understanding of how expensive or how hard the pull rates for the amazing rares are going to be, but these cards have been very popular even in their Japanese form, so it is most likely that the English form will command a premium. If we look at any of the Japanese prices for the amazing rares, they're going for around $20 to $30 ungraded, so the English versions will probably go for around $40 to $50, and that is a really rough estimate considering that we don't actually have the cards in our hands yet. But yeah, it looks like Vivid Voltage is probably going to be a home run set. There are a ton of good cards that you can pull inside of this box, rather than realistically only looking for one. There's just so much more variety, and it will be a very popular set. So the big question is, Vivid Voltage a good set to be collecting and investing in? Because I've been seeing so many videos on this topic pop up on my recommendation feed, so I imagine this is something that people are very interested in. And my hot take on it is that if you're looking to hold a couple boxes of Vivid Voltage for 10 plus years, then it'll be great. It's a great set for really long-term holding. And if your goal is to hold it for just 2 to 3 years, then maybe just hold one. Buy 2 boxes, open one and hold one for fun. I think that would be absolutely fine. This is not a set that I would personally be holding on to more than a couple of boxes of at any given time, especially if I only plan on holding it for 2 or 3 years, because the big issue of this set is that it's very popular. And that is actually a bit of a curse. The curse is that it will most likely be reprinted. In fact, I'm pretty confident the Pokemon Company is already discussing how they will reprint Vivid Voltage, because the set is by virtue pretty much sold out before release. So I can only imagine how much prices will climb over the next couple of months and a year out. Some of the other very popular sets have been reprinted multiple times. A prime example would be Unbroken Bonds, which was released 1 to 2 years ago, and Unbroken Bonds has already been reprinted multiple times. So when a set is popular and it sells out, it will be reprinted. Long term, if your plan is to hold on to Vivid Voltage for 10 years, the amount of reprints should not really realistically impact you too much. But if your goal is to only hold it for a couple of years, then I would hold no more than 1 box at a time. The next big piece of Pokemon card news is that we just had a very large Pwcc Pokemon card auction, and there were a ton of very expensive Pokemon cards sold, and some of these were definitely record-breaking. The biggest one of the bunch is definitely going to be the PSA 10 Trophy Kangaskhan card, and that card sold at auction for $150,000. A PSA 9 copy of this card made it onto my top 10 most expensive Pokemon card list, and this one beats it by a mile. Even in my top 10 video, I discussed how the version that sold in that video was a PSA 9, and I was very confident that a PSA 10 copy would de facto beat it by a multiplier. The PSA 9 version sold for around 30K, and here we have a PSA 10 selling for around 150K. Granted, the one that sold at a PSA 9 was in the summer, and that was a completely different time. Hate to say it like that, but prices have climbed so much since then. Most likely a PSA 9 copy of this trophy card would realistically go for even $60,000 or more, let alone a PSA 10. So $150,000, definitely a record-breaking sale. The next big one we saw was definitely the first edition Jungle Booster Box, which sold for $70,000. That just blows my mind, because realistically, I think a first edition Jungle Box is even now worth maybe around $50,000 at its peak. So it's very surprising that this one sold at $70,000. Perhaps there were 2 bidders who really wanted the box and was willing to pay any price. But yeah, $70,000 is a very high price. We also saw a ton of Charizards being sold, a lot of PSA 9 copies of first edition base set Charizard. Most of these sold for around $50,000 to $60,000, which is very strong prices as well, no complaints there. And a bunch of other trophy cards were also sold, including a Tropical Mega Battle card featuring Psyduck lounging around, and that one sold for around $65,000. A number 2 Tropical Mega Battle card was also sold for $50,000, and another big one would be the University Magikarp, a very rare vintage trophy card, also selling for $50,000. So some very strong prices for the top end cards in the hobby right now. The next big piece of news is that the Charizard Illustrator promotion is going on very strong in Japan. In fact, I've already heard that many Pokemon Center in Japan are already sold out of the card, but this is not technically a bad thing. I already knew that this card was going to be very popular. As most of you guys also expected, it is a very popular card due to the fact that it is a Charizard card, a promo card, and as well as an Illustrator winner card. So there's a lot going on for this card. But as I also expected, it's not a super rare card. In fact, some eBay sellers are selling stacks of 100 copies of this card at a time because it was not a super difficult promotion to really get. All you had to do was purchase a bunch of Pokemon packs in Japan and you would get multiple copies of this promotional card. And there are lots of copies floating around. If you waited to purchase this card, I think last month it was going for around $50 or $60, and right now you can find copies for around $20 to $30, and I think that's a really solid price for it. The Pokemon card hobby is so strong right now that it's not feasible for this card to really go down to the $5 or $10 ranges as I've seen from other promotions. Prior promotional cards, you could definitely see those prices, but right now the hobby is so hot. I think $20 to $30 is a really good stagnating price for this card, and it's probably going to stay that way for a little while until supply on this card starts to run dry, and who knows how long that'll take. It could be a month, it could be a year, but pretty much whenever supply of this card runs out, you're going to start seeing prices climb. And I'm not sure when that will happen, but it will happen one day, and this card will probably reach some pretty exorbitant prices, but that is not going to be anytime too soon. So if this is a card you're interested in, now is probably the best time to purchase it. It's probably not going to get any cheaper, but it is probably not a card that is going to really spike in prices in the near future either. Alright everyone, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been insightful, and in general, I'm starting to see prices pretty much start to slow down for a lot of cards in the hobby. We're not seeing 20 to 30% price climb within a week anymore. Prices are really starting to slow down, and in fact, I'm even seeing some retraction or corrections on a couple of cards where prices are actually going down a little bit, and that is totally fine. With how much prices have climbed over the last couple of weeks, it's pretty normal to see prices correct themselves down to a more normalized level. But no matter what, prices will always normalize at a higher point than where they started. It's just not possible for a card like base set Charizard to ever go down to $50 like it was 6 to 12 months ago. That card is going to stay well over $100 for the foreseeable future. It's never going to drop to those prices, because if it drops anywhere near those prices, I know that there are multiple people that will pretty much scoop up every single copy that is on the market right now. So yeah, in general, I'm happy with the state of the hobby right now, and I'm happy to see prices slowing down and we're not seeing exorbitant climbs anytime again. But who knows, maybe another influencer will pop up with another booster box opening video and suddenly the hobby is in full volatility swing again. So I'm willing to ride those waves and go with the punches, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys join me on that ride. And that's it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.